Hello everyone, welcome to the reading. This reading will be about Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner. We're going to be looking into what's up with their relationship, like what's happening in their relationship and what can we see and all the good fun stuff. So before I begin, let me just see the general energies behind this couple's relationship. What can we see? Okay. All right. Okay, well, with the Kardashians, you always know that there's going to be a sacrifice, right? This particular card in this deck represents sacrifice, and that's in the state of the current. So we're going to be looking into that. Also, wanting to have kids and wanting to rush that. Okay, so I'm going to be getting into all these vibes separately. So let me just get into this one first. The face down card, affecting both of their emotions. What can we see? Okay, Seven of Swords. There's something shady going on. What can we see with this shady vibe? What's shady? What's going on? What can we see? What is this shady situation? There's something shady happening with them. So let's see. What is this? And it's affecting their foundation as well. So let's see. What's shady? So what I'm seeing here is things not being fair as far as give and take. Someone feeling like they're being used. Someone feeling like they're not receiving their due, right? Six of Pentacles representing give and take. Someone feels like a person isn't giving them their credit, giving them their due. And it's causing a vibe of distance. This is a complicated energy because it's almost just like this person, right? Because it's affecting both of them. But this person is feeling like they probably want to put this relationship to bed. That's what I'm seeing here. It's almost just like someone shady. Not just that, I'm not getting my compensation. And I want to put things to rest with this Four of Swords. Who is this person that feel like they're being done wrong? What can we see? Who is this? Oh, Timothée Chalamet. So this is actually really interesting. He's just like, I don't feel comfortable in my circumstance. And I know that this is a woman here, but it's telling me Timothée Chalamet, he does look a bit androgynous, right? I'm not going to even get into that. But he's kind of just like, I'm not getting what I deserve out of this relationship. He feels like he's carrying this relationship, guys. He feels like he's carrying it on his back. He feels like whatever this Kylie chick is offering, it's not enough. And behind closed doors, this is kind of what people are saying, though. So I'm going to talk about it, if the energies is addressing it, then I'm going to bring it up, right? To give more depth into what I'm seeing. So people are already saying things like the Kardashian, the whole Jenner clan, they're in a state of decline, right? A lot of people said, even from the start, what is kind of like Timothée getting out of this, right? Because it seems like he's giving her more credence. The Kardashians, the Jenners, particularly like the Kardashians and mainly Kylie Jenner, right? The model, no one really doesn't talk about her. They just say she's an asshole, she's a bitch, whatever. But, Kylie is almost like with that Kardashian sort of like scammer vibe, right? People feel like she's just another scammer trying to make coin, right? And this androgynous Timothée Chalamet, he's kind of just like, what am I getting out of this, right? And they're both mirroring each other in this as well, because again, it's affecting both of their emotions, as I said. So he's feeling like, what am I getting out of this relationship? He's like, I'm carrying this on my back. And she feels the same way. Could this be narcissism, right? What is this sacrifice pertaining to? Can we see? So I'm seeing here a couple that both feel like they're more important in the relationship. Okay, these are a lot of cards. How I usually like to do this is pull from the top of the pile and the bottom of the pile, but I'm not going to even do that here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just look at what I'm seeing. So this reading might be long, guys. So again, this full energy, but what I'm drawn to is the money, right? They both feeling like they deserve more money. You know, some people say, is Kris Kardashian kind of like managing this guy behind the scenes? Like, what's going on? I don't know, but those are definitely questions that have been proposed. But again, money. Someone feels like they're a fool in this situation. They feel small. Meanwhile, someone big is handling all the coin, all the money. You know, so there are some sacrifices for this coin. You know, so far I'm seeing something to do with money and shit. What else can we see? Look at this. More money with the Ace of Pentacles. So it's kind of just like we have the Ace of Pentacles here. Money situations. Someone feeling like their hands are tied pertaining to the money. Someone also has their hand up in the air like I'm tired, I quit. So, I mean, very fascinating. Meanwhile, you also have the Seven of Swords again. So, and how this card fell on my hand, it's an energy like trickery, bad business practices. Both of these people feel like they're receiving the short end of the stick, right? And follow me here, right? This Kylie Jenner, she feels like she's somebody in the world, right? When you feel like you're not receiving sort of just like your fair share of something, it's because either you actually deserve something, you deserve the credit, you deserve the money, or are you kind of being a narcissist, right? Because it's like, okay, well, what is Kylie bringing to the table? Because this is seeming like, I don't even know if you want to call it a arrangement, some sort of like business setup that this couple have, right? So we're seeing a business setup where it's like both of them feel like they're being cheated. She feel like her name, her mom, their position in Hollywood is something big, right? Because she wouldn't feel like, oh, someone's tricking me out of money or tricking me out of my credit and my position. And he feels the same way. But at least with him, it's more justifiable, right? You know, he has all these movies. You know, he's all over the internet these days, right? And let me just say, I'm not going to even see that movie that he made. I've never seen the preview, I guess, the commercial for it, and I don't plan to. I never seen the trailer, nor do I ever plan on seeing that movie. When I see him, I'm gonna be real. You know, like when I see Dune, I love Dune. Like Dune is my thing. Like I can watch Dune like all day. It's awesome. It's like one of my favorite movies recently, right? Like both of the Dunes that he created. I fuck with that. But when I see him looking like a 7-year-old boy, like shirtless, with kind of like an old man face that's almost like starting to become like washed up, I was kind of just like what the fuck is this? Like, is this a joke? Like, that's what I was thinking personally, right? Despite all that, though, he feels like, look, I'm making movies. My name's out there. Yeah, your mom and yeah, like your whole clan do what they do. But he's like, it's about me. It's causing issues because they both feel cheated. Like when this first lot came out, I was telling you that both of them feel this way. It's affecting both of their emotions. They both feel like they're being cheated with the Seven of Swords. Then we have the Lovers. It's pertaining to this love situation, this relationship. There's a lot of sacrifices that's needed for whatever they got going on. Let me just say that much, right? Because this particular card represents sacrificing for works, right? This is major sacrifices when you burn shit that cause you pain. So there's a lot of ego here that's burning. There is a lot of ego, and it's because of this relationship. And look, I was telling you because it works. This thing because of money, this Three of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles, I don't really want to like flash all on my face or anything, but the Three of Pentacles represent collaborations, right? Kind of like business situations, business arrangements. So that's what I'm seeing here. It's kind of just like this relationship, it comes with sacrifices. It definitely comes with sacrifices. And here we go. The Goat and the 10 of Cups. And I believe this is the last card. Yep. So what I'm seeing here is that for this happiness, there are particular rituals, right? You know, certain things mean something, right? Like I always say, like the imagery means something. Not all the time, but a lot of the time. This goat, right? This uplifted sort of like 10 of Cups. There's rituals that's involved, right? You know, put 2 and 2 together, guys. You know, I'm not trying to be one of those cheat readers where it's kind of just like as soon as, you know, something occult pop up and then they want to make the whole reading about that. Like, you know, that's so 3 years ago. Like, I've been there, done that. Like, you guys, I'm pretty sure, see it all the time with the readings. It's no point to get into it, right? You guys know what it is. There's particular rituals that's going on. As I said before this card even came up. And, you know, it's causing him to have to do particular sacrifices, right? That's what I'm seeing here. Now, at the same time, these people do get along. Like, let's not get it twisted, you know. They wouldn't have been, you know, together in this situation if they didn't get along. So it's like they understand each other, you know, with this Six of Cups. Six of Cups represent memories, right? It's also an exchange between someone that you like. It's also like fond memories, a good exchange. So yeah, there's some discrepancy here as far as like them feeling like they deserve more and all of that, right? And feeling like they're sacrificing a lot and they're not getting what they deserve. So I don't know what's going on with the contracts and all that. You know, there's things that happen behind the scenes. That's significant. But between the both of them, right? They do vibe with each other, you know. Not just that, more Three of Pentacles energy. You know, this isn't a good energy when we speak of couples, right? Even when I did that reading for Taylor Swift and that guy, you know, the Three of Pentacles, that's not really love. That's not romance, you know. In a mundane situation, right, with everyday situations, like let's say like if a woman isn't working and a guy's working, and let's just say if the guy, usually it's women that come to me for readings, like I don't think I've ever had a straight guy come to me for a reading, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. But usually though, it's kind of like, just for the sake of like explaining this, like let's just say, right, if a guy came to me and was like, oh, you know, like, does she love me? You know, like, what's going on, you know? And then, you know, the Three of Pentacles pop up. I would be like, you know, is she working? Like, what's going on? Because the Three of Pentacles represent, you know, like we're talking about love and romance and the couple. Like, you're together because of some sort of arrangement. And usually if one person isn't working and stuff and this pops up, it's because they're with you because, like, you're coin and shit. Right? But since these are celebrities and this isn't like mundane everyday stuff, they got their own money. This is business ties, business arrangements, right? And that's significant going on in the future. What I'm seeing though from this Kylie though, a need to want to be relevant. This Page of Wands is a rambunctious energy. It's a youthful energy. I know she might look old as hell. She looked like some 48-year-old or 58-year-old starlet from like a time long gone. but she still have that youthful energy. She can still have children. And what I'm seeing here is that she does want to be the one to initiate this baby. Not just that, she really wants to do it quickly. Should not be surprised if she pops up and be pregnant. You know, I'm pretty sure there's a contract for that as well. So, you know, she better stay within the contract. But what I'm seeing here is a woman that wants to get pregnant quickly, right? She's kind of copying Hailey Bieber's energy with this one, where it's kind of just like she wants the baby. Why she wants the baby? Because that's part of her business strategy. That's part of Kardashian clan, Kardashian Jenner clan situation, the babies and this stuff, not with the model. The model, I don't know. I don't know if I should say the model have more dignity, or maybe she's just a bitch and don't want to fuck with nobody and no one wants to fuck with her. I don't know. But it seemed like the model has more sense when it comes to stuff like this. But as far as all the Kardashians and the rest of them, it's something not desirable about them. Let me just say that, right? It's ghetto, basically, is what I'm trying to say. It's some ghetto shit, right? It's like some ghetto ass shit, right? Could you imagine if if these were black women that act or did the things the Kardashians did, what people would say? They would never get any rest, right? People would call them every name in the book, right? But, because these aren't melanated chicks, they can get away with so much more. Kind of like Cardi B, even though Cardi B wants to claim whatever, because one minute she's black or Afro-Latina, then the next minute she's not, then the next, it's like she's confused and it's just crazy. But I'm not going to even get into the social politics of it, right? But let me just say, this clan is ghetto as fuck. I wouldn't want to deal with them, like, right? I mean, if they pay me, then, I'll fuck with you for some money. But, like, as far as just chilling with them, nah, I don't want to chill with these ghetto ass bitches. I'm good, man. This is some ghetto shit. This is stuff people want to get away from. Like, having children out of wedlock and all this madness and shit. This is crazy. Oh, and my apologies for people that might be watching it that have that situation in their life. I'm not trying to offend you or anything like that. We all make mistakes and life happens and it's just what it is, right? But it doesn't mean that it's a desirable outcome, right? But anyway, what's the state of this couple's relationship? So we see that they do get along, right? What else is going on with the romance? Is there romance here? And I'm being told, I could choose from this deck or this deck. It just depends on what I want. I want something from this deck. Something a little bit more cool. Nothing too hot. What can we see? All right. What's going on with the state of this? How have these people grown to love each other is the question, right? Possibly not. This love situation that they have is contentious. Oh, it's going to be coming to an end. Okay. Mainly because this Empress really wants this family, and this guy doesn't want that with her. Now, who knows, whatever influence he might get with the mom, right? Or the people that talk to him. This is a Hollywood guy. Hollywood people don't necessarily have, the biggest, morals and shit, and they don't necessarily always stand their ground. Because if that was the case, then everyone wouldn't be fucking partying with Harvey Weinstein, because, people knew about him. It wasn't a secret to, a few. People knew. If you mess with Harvey Weinstein, you know what you're going to get, right? And this Harvey Weinstein guy, he was associated with, a lot of the big rich people. I ain't going to be dropping names, but he was associated with some. And it's not because they're just rich or powerful, but it just is what it is. He was messing with, all sorts of, big people in the world. Some very influential people, and they knew what was going on, but no one didn't care. And then it was okay, after the fact, now people want to talk crap, and then his wife want to divorce him. So, people do things for coin. Nothing's new under the sun. Now, let's talk about what I'm seeing here. This relationship, it has its sort of negativity. You know what I say? The Seven of Wands represents perceptions, especially when we speak of love matters, right? Because these are energies being directed at you. Not good energies as well, right? Energies where you have to stand your ground and you have to defend yourself. Again, people's perceptions. They were getting a lot of negative perceptions, right? But these people, that's why I asked, did they grow to love each other? Because I'm seeing that there is a vibe of harmony, right? This guy, he gives me a mercurial energy, right? In Vedic astrology, Mercury is a eunuch, right? So it's interesting. I'm kind of getting the same thing with this Timothée Chalamet, right? The last time I had his body, I was probably 7 years old. So it's kind of interesting, seeing a grown man with like the body of a child. Like, it's hilarious, actually. Especially his face is starting to age and shit. Like, it's hilarious as fuck. Like, especially like recently, it was kind of just like he made the second Dune movie like recently, right? Like, what, 2-3 years ago or something. And it was kind of just like, okay, he looked like himself, Timothée Chalamet, whatever. And it's just like recently with this new corny movie he put out that I'm not gonna watch, that just made me want to throw up because he just looks stupid, and then the vibe looks stupid, and it's just corny. Like, when something's too corny, I can't fuck with it, right? That's why, like, I don't know if you notice, like, my readings, like, I keep it real, but I don't be saying like love and light every 5 fucking seconds and shit, because it's kind of just like, yeah, the fuck. But this guy, I'm kind of getting like a eunuch energy. The reason why I bring up the eunuch energy is because, like, the eunuch isn't always about penetration. And, you know, the eunuch finds pleasure elsewhere, right? That mercurial energy. That's why a lot of Mercury natives, you know, they could have it interesting ways, right? You can either have the Virgo, that's sort of just like analytical, that's pretentious, that's tedious. Or you can have sort of just like the Gemini, that's like, you know, more in tune with their hands and like creating things and discovering things, right? They usually tend to be like active too, right? But if you notice, like, that isn't necessarily a thing to do with intimacy or sex, right? That's why sometimes, like, a lot of Virgos and some Geminis don't necessarily get the most like sexual action. To be honest though, the Geminis do, because Geminis, they tend to be more charming. You know what I mean? That third house energy. They tend to be more charming. Geminis kind of known for being attractive. They're blessed because Mercury natives are blessed with certain vibes. So usually Geminis, even for men or women, they tend to both be like beautiful or attractive. Meanwhile, it's kind of just like the Geminis are kind of like more into, I don't know, like education and things like that, right? So, you know, that's not too sexy. That's why sometimes Virgos, they don't have the best romantic life, you know? And when they do have a good romantic life, it's because they just put their hair down and they basically kind of, they're not so tense, you know? That's like one of the things too with like Virgos. They have to not be so tense, you know? The more tense they are, it kind of creates like a tough situation for them. You know what I mean? And also, if a Virgo wants to kind of like have more positivity in their life, one thing a Virgo has to do is kind of direct that sort of like that energy of educating and teaching. They either have to direct it into their children. If they don't have children, then they have to direct it into like teaching people. So for Virgos, it's always good for them to get into something where they can kind of like educate people or teach people. So writing a book is good, or teaching a class about something. Like, they have to. If they don't really like get that energy out of, you know, teaching and educate people, then they just irritate everyone that's around them. So that's like something interesting. You know, when I do these readings, you know, I talk about like, and I'm going to do more of that. I talk about like the astrology signs, and I'm not saying any of these people are Gemini or a Virgo. I think she's a Leo. I don't know what he is. I think he's a Capricorn like me. But yeah, like, you know, whenever like an energy is relevant, you know, and it relates to an astrology sign, like, I talk about it. Because I noticed that when I've like been dealing with a lot of Virgos lately, right? And it's interesting that Virgos, they tend to have issues in their romance life, right? And it's like they need an outlet to like release a particular type of steam, because there's different types of steam. There's like like sexual steam, right? Like Scorpios deal with that, where they have to like let out a sexual steam. With Virgos, they have to like let out that need to teach, right? So it's kind of like, instead of like irritating people, they need to direct it at like people that's willing to hear them. So it's really interesting. Now, the reason why I bring up that whole eunuch energy is because this guy, I'm just going to be real with the energy I'm getting, right? I know what he's trying to present. I don't know what he's trying to present, because he looks stupid if you ask me. But it's kind of like he's trying to like present this sexuality, I guess, right? And I think maybe it's charming to some women that might have not really did anything when they were teens or something. So it's kind of just like seeing a dude that looks like a teen kind of makes them live out some sort of fantasy that they weren't able to experience. Because I don't see how you can be a full woman and look at that little guy and be like, you know, wow, this guy is really gonna rock my bones. Do people even say that? But yeah, again, the reason why I bring up the eunuch energy is because I'm getting a guy that's not really interested in sexual vibes. Like, even with my intuitive eye, right? And I try to watch my mouth too with reading, so I always don't try to like use particular words. So that's why I use words like intimate a lot recently and stuff like that, because I don't just want to be talking too crazy. Sometimes I just don't care depending on my mood, and sometimes I'm more aware of it. So let me just say, this guy, he doesn't give off sexual energy. Let me just say, like, I could look at people and I know a lot about them, like, just by looking at them, right? It's just like a thing that I have. Like, I could tell a lot about someone just by looking at them. I don't even have to hear them or nothing. Like, it just, you know how like some people read palms and shit? Like, I can just read vibes. I can even look at someone and not see their face and just like see their body, and it'll alert me to particular things. This guy really isn't a sexual guy. He's a bit of a unit. He also has something repressed going on there, but that's his personal business. So what I'm seeing here is the reason why this relationship works is because it's like a business arrangement, right? He gets to do what he wants to do. He wants to act. He wants to be seen. You know what I mean? He wants to be a little diva material girl type shit. So it's kind of just like, let the man live, right? But that's why he's not really tripping. That's why this relationship's been working as long as it's been working, right? But issues is coming up. Right? These issues to do with sort of just like heartbreak, pain. And why are these issues coming up? Because she wants herself a baby and she wants herself a family. Now, I know she has her own kids and stuff, but it never stopped these Kardashian Jenner clan chicks, right? So what I'm seeing here is that's what she wants, but he's kind of just like, dude, I'm a eunuch and this is a business situation. What are you trying to do here, right? So, I mean, let's see if the Jenner mom, whatever, Kardashian Jenner mom, whatever, if she's going to be able to convince him, you know? I like to dance with the energies, so I'm not going to like ask anything too direct. Sometimes it's good just to dance with the energies. I like to be gracious. I don't like to be a bastard and just keep harassing and, you know what I mean? Milking out every last thing from like, you know, the spiritual energies and shit. That's why they're kind to me, because I don't be like trying to abuse them and shit. You know, it's just, it is what it is, you know? It's like a relationship. This is a relationship, you know? When you're doing tarot. A little education for you guys, right? That do tarot and shit. It's kind of like the more you try to do too much, then things stop being so accurate. Then it creates like issues for you. The more you kind of have respect and understand it's like a relationship, the more smoother it is. When you're in a relationship, you don't want to take, you know what I mean, all the time. Take. You know, you don't want to give too much too, right? So I try to find a good balance. And that's been my process since the start of me doing this on YouTube. I've always said this. It's nothing new, right? But this baby thing is going to cause a problem for them, right? I mean, let me see. This Jenner chick, does she love him? Okay. I'm seeing a lot of swords here. So let's see, and they're sideways. So let me see. This is the Knight of Swords. Okay, she's always trying to rush something. And this is the King of Swords. So, I mean, is this love to you guys? And then we have the Moon. Now, the Moon can relate to caring when you care about someone, right? So she does care about him, right? I'm not going to be all extra and be like, she don't care. No, she actually does have a soft spot for him. But is this love? No, these are swords, the Knight of Swords and the King of Swords and the Moon, right? So there's illusions here. Not just that, there's major strategy here, right? And it's all shady too, because the cards wanted to come out sideways and they did. So, I mean, yeah, does he love her? Let's see. Does this Timothée Chalamet love her? All right, one card. Oh, no. He's wounded by this shit. There's a lot of secrets, too, in the closet. Not to be fucking funny, but he's hiding things in the closet. It's like, babes, get out the closet. I mean, it's your life, you know? And particularly for this type of guy, yeah, I don't blame him for not, if he gets his money because of a lot of women are attracted to him and like him, and men too, then it's kind of just like, why rock the boat? Why disturb people's perceptions? So I don't blame him. But there's stuff in the closet, not just that. There's a lot of dead bodies and weird shit. You take that as you want. But there's a lot of shit going on. And this relationship has caused him injury. He's going to be dealing with it. He's going to need therapy. I can actually ask, what's some of this stuff like that caused him therapy? Because that's going to cause him to want therapy, right? And it's a lot too. So I don't know if it's going to be covered in whatever spread's going to come out. But let's just see. What are the energies going to show? What is this that he needs to recover from? Oh, the world. Oh, this thing was affecting his life. All aspects of his life. This is Saturn. The world is Saturn in the deck, right? So this Saturn aspect, right? When I was just like, okay, so how, like, basically is this affecting him? Like, how is this affecting, like, basically him, his situation, right? And it told me in every way conceivable, right? Because the Saturn energy, it affects your life entirely, right? Especially when it's a significant placement. Like, it'll affect your circumstances, your self-esteem. It'll punish you. It'll punish you, especially when you don't have no morals and stuff, I gotta be real. So if you out here just being crazy, it'll affect you bad. But one thing I want to say about Saturn isn't totally bad though, right? Because it is an energy of karma. So one thing I would advise anyone that's dealing with a Capricorn is try not to do a Capricorn shady, because a Capricorn might seem foolish and might seem like they don't have power. And that might be the case, right? But you have to understand that Saturn is watching. So usually when people take advantage of a Capricorn, that karma is going to get you 10-fold, 20-fold. And I've seen it in real time. I know this woman that did this Capricorn man very dirty. Very dirty. And now it's the biggest mistake of her life because it's affecting her in a way that's just fucked up, right? I'm not going to even mention it. And I've known this lady for a decade plus. So yeah, it's interesting seeing the karma play out. And sometimes Capricorns, when we're done dirty to, it feels painful, it don't feel good, and we feel foolish and we feel bad, right? But every zodiac sign have their blessings and have their curses, right? And I don't know if you want to say if it's a blessing or not, but one of the blessings of Saturn is that he'll get your enemies back. So yeah, and I say all that to say that this guy, he kind of sold himself out in a lot of ways because he knew that things weren't right, and he still got caught up with the devil. So what I'm seeing here is that, Saturn might not be too favorable, right? It's kind of just he was having a slow, steady climb in the celebrity world, right? Now he tried to do things really fast, and Saturn do not like when you try to do things fast, especially when he has a significant placement in your life, like that guy. I believe he's a Capricorn sun. So it's kind of just for you to be a Capricorn sun, you got to watch out. Even with me, I really have to watch out. I try not to do nothing too crazy because it's kind of I don't get away with shit. I could do something crazy and then all of a sudden all hell breaks loose and shit, right? Saturn's just kicking my ass and saying, the fuck you think you're doing, right? Meanwhile, other people, they could do all sorts of shit. They can fucking even murder someone and shit, and they'll fucking get away with it for a time and shit, or even decades and shit. But a Capricorn sun, damn, you must have some sort of other powerful planets that's protecting you if you even get away even a little bit, right? I say that for what it's worth because it's relevant. This is relevant because I'm seeing that this guy, he sold himself out trying to rush. Saturn doesn't this is the world again representing Saturn. Saturn doesn't like when you rush things, right? It took the world time to form. The same with humans. Saturn likes people to form slowly. He doesn't want you to do things quickly, right? Otherwise, you'll be punished, and you'll even lose what you got quickly, right? So it's kind of just like if this guy probably would have just been an actor, did Dune, did what he wanted to do, ignored Kylie Jenner and was like, I ain't fucking with you guys are dirty and shit, it'll probably be good for him, right? But now he doesn't see it, right? He definitely doesn't see it, but I see it, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys see it. He kind of looks like a clown from wearing that orange shit. Like, it just looks stupid. And he even, like I even said, his face even looks like it's aging, right? So it's kind of just like, it doesn't fit what he's trying to do. This doesn't fit him. Not everyone's supposed to be flashy, and energy is telling me it's true. It keeps saying it's true, it's true. Not everyone's supposed to be flashy. Not everyone's supposed to be caught up with, trying to do things quickly. Sometimes things are more diligent. Like, even with my YouTube channel, like, I've never paid for bots. I've never tried to pay for subscribers, not once. And it's funny because when I created this channel, I know some people that created their channel like the same time, and we were following each other. And I'm not saying this channel is successful, because it's not at all. But like, I've seen them, like, where it was like, let's say we had 200, we might have 200 at the same time, right? And then I might have like 250, 260, then they might have like 300, and we're like talking about shit. And then it's just like, then all of a sudden, then they had 1,000, then they had 2,000, and it was like 8,000. And honestly, like, I was subscribed to them. I don't know what happened to them. I don't see them in my subscriptions. They disappeared, right? So, and I know that some of them too had to be buying like certain, I guess, subscribers or something, because like they didn't have any comments or anything. So like they might have had like 8,000 subscribers, but only like 2 views, and it was crazy. And 2, I swear to God, I'm not making this up, 2 of them were Capricorns. One of the guy was a Capricorn. He tried to have like a spiritual channel, and I don't know what happened to the dude. So like, yeah, it's actually interesting. Like, it's very fascinating. These energies are real. You know what I mean? It's complicated. Yes, there's other placements involved and other things like your ascendant and shit, but it's deep. Now I'm going to just ask like just a question in this. Do the spiritual realm, whatever you want to call it, ethers, the divine, have any advice? Because it basically gave advice with this, and that's like knowledge and shit. Like, when I go on these little like explanations and shit, it's for a reason. It's to explain energy so people know, right? And I think it makes it more interesting too when you learn things, and it's fascinating, instead of just like, oh, he doesn't want to be with her, oh, he's cheating, or something stupid like that, and then that's it. Maybe some people like those quick readings that be like 4 minutes and shit. Again, I have some significant Saturn placements, so a lot of things I do is a little bit more diligent, right? It's not so quick and crazy, right? But if it needs to be, it'll be. But let's see, anything the universe want to advise? Timothée Chalamet in particular. Oh, watch out, because this woman might be plotting to betray him because she feels betrayed. Okay, before I even get to that, let me get the rest of the cards. I was telling me to pull this one. That's almost sideways. Look at that shit. What was I telling you about slowing down, right? Okay. He doesn't have any structure. He needs better structure. The decisions that he's making is making him look like a clown. It just is what it is. What he's doing, it's making him look like a clown. He's partying too hard. He needs to slow down. He's doing too much. So I don't know what's going on. That's fast-paced in his life. But understand that his woman, she feels like she's betrayed. She is a narcissist. Sometimes with Leo, because I believe she's a Leo. When I've seen this with a few Leos, like even Leo risings, one of the most deadly combinations someone can have is a Pisces sun and a Leo rising or a Leo moon. Those people are some of the most bitter people in the world. Like, they would literally poison you. Like, you got to watch out. Like, they're really, like, I know some people aren't going to like that, but I've seen it too many times to count. They can be extremely bitter over the stupidest of shit too. So I'm not saying her moon, I'm not saying that she's a Pisces sun and all that. No, I'm just trying to explain energies and blah blah blah. What I'm seeing here is though that this is looking like a a woman, right? She feels like she's been betrayed, but no one didn't stab her in the back. It was kind of almost stabbed in the front. And did she do it to herself? So it's kind of just like, okay, what you got with this man that's a eunuch and shit, might be a homosexual, and you're trying to force him to do something that he doesn't want to do. And it's kind of just like, now you feel betrayed. Now you feel like you're in a tower moment. When it's kind of just like, I mean, it is what it is. Like, and he might be in the closet. Let the nigga be in the closet, bitch. Damn, don't disturb him. But this Timothée Chalamet, he's partying too hard. Maybe is that why his face is looking, a Capricorn face? Sometimes. Some Capricorn, because there's, I don't know, there's like almost like, 16 subdivisions of Capricorns? I know that sounds really crazy, right? People don't talk about that, but there's a lot of divisions when it comes to Capricorns. We're all not created equal. We're all not the same. Let me just say that much, right? But sometimes Capricorns could be blessed with looking very youthful, right? And not looking old at all. Some Capricorns, like, they might go through shit and you won't know. You just won't be able to tell, right? Sometimes you could tell in their face. And I think maybe you could tell in this guy's face, because the Three of Cups is partying, celebrations. Not just that, it also represent extracurricular activities to do with, I never said that word before, to do with fucking, I don't know, you could tell, to do with like substances and shit. Dude, you need to slow down. You're doing too much, even in the spiritual realm, right? Because each slot represents something. The spiritual realm is saying, dude, slow the fuck down. Also, the business moves that you're making, you think it looks cute, but it's not cute. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a star, right? An actual star, like the star signs talk about. That's a whole other story, right? You know how they say, like, sometimes if the star expands too big, or if it's too big, then it kind of like crashes out really fast, right? It's the same with this guy. He think like, oh, he's getting all this stardom, but it's putting a bad taste in people's mouths. Like, it's not looking good. It's kind of looking ghetto and just gross. It's unsavory, if you ask me. But it is what it is. But the energies is telling him to slow down and to reconsider his business strategy, because it's not right. So, I mean, what do you guys think? Did you guys like this reading? Do you resonate with it? Or do you guys think I'm some sort of bastard or something? I mean, don't be mad at the messenger and shit. You know what I mean? I got a lot of placements, actually, that represent me, like, doing these things, right? Like, doing tarot and shit and having, like, connections to, like, stuff. But I never, ever talk about that because, like, some things is just not people business, But take care, guys. Yeah, enjoy.